Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Alpha PT. Sorry. Hello and welcome to Alpha PT's live session everyone. I hope you can hear me. Is it clear? Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Hi Sarah, hi Maha. Hi Utkarsh, how to write an essay. Utkarsh, to write an essay you need to now put a lot of content, maybe 100 plus words as content. You can write your essay in 4 paragraphs. First paragraph being introduction, then 2 paragraphs about the content, and the last paragraph being conclusion. Hi Manu, hi Sangeeta. Yes, that's the same way to write an essay. You can use a template, but make sure the template is not looking like a fixed template. The template should just put a structure in your essay, but most of the content should be related to the topic if you need to get good marks, because right now you need 85 plus in writing. So make sure you put good amount of marks. Hello everyone. Is there a single template for essay writing after the changes? You can't have a single template for essay writing, but for 80% of the essays, the template that I have used in my exam that I have uploaded recently works. But only if there is a question which is problem and solution based, then that template would not work. Okay. Then my reading is very worse. What should I do for my reading? Hi Anjeet, for your reading make sure you are practicing your fill in the blanks really well. Your reading and write, your drop down and drag and drop both blanks, and your content for summarized written text works wonders when you do your reading. So make sure these three questions you practice really well. Hi Lakshmi, hi Tofik. Is this live for PT core? You can ask questions about that also. Hello, Tessin. Do you have any dashboard to share and explain visually? Leonardo, how would you want me to explain? How to increase in writing session? Writing marks are coming from these four questions: summarize written text, summarize spoken text, essay, and write from dictations. Make sure you put good amount of content with summarize spoken text, summarize written text, and essay. And write from dictation, make sure you don't make any spellings errors or uh, grammatical mistakes. Can I use one line strategy in exam PT core? You can, but right now I would not take that much risk, because PT software is becoming more and more sophisticated, and it is going to affect your score. So it is a hit and miss, Jay. And honestly, personally, I don't advise you to use one line strategy unless you actually have a problem with speaking. If you can do the complete read aloud, I would always suggest you to do that. uh, can I use one line strategy and extra words in repeat sentences? There's no one line strategy in repeat sentence. One line strategy is reading the first line of read alouds. So in repeat sentence, you have to listen and repeat the complete sentence. How to solve fill in the blanks? Both, I'm facing so many problems. Which, okay, are you talking about reading fill in the blanks? If you're talking about fill in the blanks of the reading section, it depends on how many blanks you solve from the website. There are more than 1000 fill in the blanks in both. So if you try to solve as many as possible, basically you all you need to do is start working on comprehending the passages really well. The easy it is for you to understand the passage, the better it will be for you to get the score. And understanding the passage will not happen overnight, so you need to constantly solve as many questions as possible. After about a week or so, you will start to get the hang of these fill in the blanks. They will not improve suddenly. You need at least constant continuous 1 week practice. After a week you will start seeing the improvement, and then it will only improve from there. So the more blanks you solve, the easier it will be for you. For all the reading fill in the blanks, be it drop down or drag and drop. Can we use a template for summarized spoken text where we can put a lot of keywords? Now, when we are practicing with keywords right now, like I'm saying, the latest about a week ago, one of our trainer had given the exam with just the keywords. They did not get 85 in writing, they got somewhere around 80, 79 or 80. But right now, writing is becoming trickier, so it's always better. Only keywords will not get you 85, so it depends on what score you need. If you need a lesser score, you can put keywords, but if you need a high score, you need to use phrases and sentences for summarized spoken text. How to write down a great summarized written text: need to rewrite and use link words. You don't need to change the complete sentence, but what I would suggest is pick 3 sentences which will complete the topic. If you think 3 sentences are not enough to complete the topic, you can add 4 sentences and connect them using the connectors. Use good connectors, like most importantly, make sure they are not grammatically incorrect. Don't pick sentences which do not make sense contextually. Pick sentences which have good information, and then join them. The better sentences you pick, the more marks you get. And then when it comes to joining, you can join using comma and semicolon, moreover, if it's a contrast, comma but, or semicolon, however, and stuff like that. Or what you can do is sentence 1 comma and sentence 2, then semicolon, moreover, sentence 3 comma and sentence 4. That's also a structure that you can use, but make sure your sentences, the word limit should be 65 to 70 words, 71, 72, but not more than that, because a lot of times people are writing 75 and above words. But I would always limit the words to 70 to 73. But 65 to 70, somewhere between that, is good enough for 90 in summarized written text. Why alpha is not giving marks? Either everything is good. In which question are you saying, John? Can you let me know? Hi, Asia. Push, clean. Please help and repeat sentences. To repeat sentences, push clean, it means a lot if you. It makes a huge difference if you practice in bulk, like at least 50 to 150 repeat sentences at a stretch, okay? Non-stop, non-stop. First 10 to 15 repeat sentences you will not get. After 15 repeat sentences, you'll start your brain. It's basically you are training your brain to remember what it is hearing and to recollect it immediately. That is just your mind that you are training, and you have to do it in big chunks. So if you continuously keep practicing in big chunks, 50, then 100, then 150, even when you are traveling, make you have these repeat sentences on YouTube, put your headphones on, keep listening and repeating in your head. It will improve. You will see a drastic change when it comes to your repeat sentences. It will not improve unless you practice them in bulk. Sapna, hi, give me some tips for reading. I have given 3 times, but I cannot my desire. Okay. Reading, now you have most number of marks from summarized written text, drop down, and drag and drop blanks. Also, reorders are important, but these 3 questions are the major scoring parts of the reading module. As long as you're putting good amount of content and summarized written text, and you're practicing both the blanks thoroughly, you should not have anything to worry about. But if you are not practicing the blanks, if you're not finishing the blanks which are there on the website, then that's going to be an issue for you. Even if you're not solving each one of them, click on the answer button and read the whole paragraph. At least that will help you understand how the passage is going, and while you're reading, you can guess your answers. Okay, so firstly, try to solve them on your own. Secondly, if you don't have that much time and there is your exam, then try to just go through, click the answer button and go through the passages. So if you get those in your exam, you will know the answers beforehand. I want to speak fluently. For that, you have to continuously speak, practice your speaking questions. The speaking module takes a bit of time to improve, but as soon as you practice regularly, see, PTE is all about training your mind to get accustomed to these particular questions more than your English. You need to get used to the questions and how to answer these questions. Your speaking is all about your practice. The more you practice, the faster you will be able to speak. How to improve my reading? Again, that's what I said. Improve your summarized written text, reading, fill in the blank, drop down and drag and drop, and your reading score will improve. Summarize group discussion. Any template? You don't need any template for summarize group discussion. You can use the template that you use in retail lecture. It's just an extended retail lecture. How can you improve repeat sentences? Just practice your repeat sentences in bulk. Everybody who's asking the doubts about repeat sentences and reading module, guys, reading module will improve when you improve content in summarized written text, when you practice your reading and drop down fill in the blanks and your drag and drop fill in the blanks in bulk. These three questions have most marks in the reading module, and then comes your reorder paragraphs. Your MCQs are important but not so important, so make sure these three, especially your summarized written text, your reading and your drop down and your drag and drop, they have to be perfect, and that will only happen when you practice them continuously. Like, try to finish all the blanks which are there on the website and try to pick good content in summarized written text. This is the only way to boost your reading scores. Practice your blanks. For repeat sentences, anyone who has anything regarding repeat sentences will improve when you practice in bulk. You just have to get your mind uh, ready, and you have to train your mind to recollect whatever it heard immediately, and that will only happen when you constantly practice that particular thing in bulk. You just have to make sure you practice first 50 repeat sentences. When once you're comfortable with 50 repeat sentences, move it to 100, and once you're comfortable with 100, move it to 150. You don't need to record and listen to each and everything. You just need to listen, click the answer, read what you said, then move on. Click the answer, move on. Repeat, click the answer button, check your answer, move on. Even if you're not repeating the exact same thing, keep moving on, because in your exam you have to move on. So get your mind to be ready for the exam. Okay. I want to learn writing. Writing is all about content nowadays, Asia. So the more content you get, the better marks you get for writing. Exam is not very difficult, Ayush. Exam is pretty doable. Now they are trying to keep the exam more related to the actual scoring method. So it's, if you can look at the scoring guide, your exam will be like that. Then read aloud very difficult? No, read aloud are actually simpler now. Previously they used to be difficult, but they have become simpler now. Learning writing, how to get high marks in summarized written text by putting good amount of content. Marks in listening module, a lot of marks, around 50 marks, are coming from speaking module. So your repeat sentences, your retell lecture, and your summarized group discussion. The content here is going to give you marks in your listening. Along with that, your summarized spoken text and write from dictation. These five questions are a key to get a good score in your listening module. So if you are going to practice listening module, make sure you practice these five questions: repeat sentences, summarize group discussions, retell lecture, summarize spoken text, and write from dictation. These are the most important questions for your listening module. Then my exam is on 7th. What I last month my result was 55. Prepare. What is your desired score, Lalit? Can you let me know your desired score? How to attempt describe image? Describe image, put content. Okay, try to say the content. If this is the describe image, for example, PT new format exam result discussion, so I'll describe like that. I have a picture in front of me which says PT new format exam result discussion. I can see a trainer sitting there. I can see live Q&A session. She is wearing glasses which are red color, and I can also see the red thing which is live Q&A session. So more, which whatever you can see, just describe that without pausing. You should be fine with your describe images. How can I remember in repeat sentences? Only when you practice in bulk, you will start to remember and recollect your repeat. You don't have to remember it completely, you just have to repeat what you just heard. No, I prediction questions are your revision questions. Prediction questions you practice a day before your exam. You can't completely rely on prediction questions and think that okay, I've done predictions, that's enough. No, especially if you need a high score, I would say always practice with the practice questions and revise with the questions in predictions. Read aloud doesn't have a lot of marks these days, especially in PT Academic, so you don't have to worry. As long as you're not pausing, as long as you're clear, you should be fine with read aloud. Can we use same template for all essays except problem solution? Yes. Repeat sentences. Extra words you can put in repeat sentences. In write from dictation, maximum 5 extra words, not more than that. But remember, extra words should be related to the sentence, not unrelated or irrelevant extra words will cost you marks. Video reading, fill in the blanks in grammar shortcuts. Of course, I will make. Thank you so much. How can you improve speaking module? By practicing it regularly. Speaking module has a lot of marks, 90 marks in speaking and approximately 50 marks in listening. So speaking module has to be done on a regular basis. Speaking module is nothing but fluency, and fluency is nothing but practice. So think about it in this way. You are going to go and take part in a race. You can't just straight away stand there on the day of the race and expect to win the race, because your body has to get used to that running and stuff. Similarly, fluency in speaking is all about talking continuously without pausing. You can't expect your body to take such a long sentence without breathing, or to be able to speak such a long sentence without breathing suddenly. So that is all about training yourself with practice. So the more you practice, the more you can speak eloquently. Basically it's that. So speaking section is all about practice and note taking. Note taking is a key in your retail lecture and your summarized group discussion. So that will only improve when you keep writing. Note taking is taking content while you're listening, and that will only happen. See, everything in PTE right now is about practicing. If you have any issue with that particular question, practice it more rigorously. You will suddenly see the improvement. The more you practice, the better it will get. Okay, I am targeting 7 bands. Suggest me tips. I'm good in speaking and writing. How can I improve my reading and listening? Reading and listening. Reading, for your reading, improve your blanks and your content and summarize written text. And for listening, improve your summarize spoken text, write from dictation, summarize group discussion, retail lecture, and repeat sentences. These 5 questions carry most marks in listening. Best strategy for retail lecture: take phrases, three words together, and then repeat them. Essay, you can use any structure, but structure should not have a lot of fixed words. You should put good amount of 100 to 120 words as content which is related to the topic. Only then it will work. I'm getting 60 in alpha PT mock test. So what is your desired score, Lalit? I'm good in all section, but only read aloud I'm suffering with. I still feel like it's first time to see the words. Read aloud, if you're doing PT Academic, it's not a very scoring question now. All you can do is just make sure you're practicing as much as possible, but don't worry so much. Don't stress. Stress is only going to make it worse. One line strategy in read aloud PT Academic. Uh, you can, but it's it's better to repeat the full thing, because sometimes they are putting human interventions here and there and you might end up losing marks. So unless you genuinely have issues with read aloud, I would say don't go with these strategies, which do not, any strategy which is not taking care of the actual PT marking guide. Because right now PTE is making so many changes with the software. The software is getting more and more sophisticated and more closer to the actual PTE score guide. Whatever they are saying on the score guide, they're trying to check all that in your response. So any random strategies like these, it's a risk to use at the moment. Reading task is having only 23 minutes to complete. See, if you are having 15 questions, then you will have 21 minutes. 16 questions, 23 minutes. 17 questions, 25 minutes. I had 18, 17 questions, 26 minutes. I had that one, 26 minutes in my. So it depends on how many questions, and on that basis they are providing that much time. But if you practice well, and if you're not wasting too much time on MCQ multiple answers, you should be able to do well. Where can I see the template for your essay and summarized written text? I've already uploaded the videos on our YouTube channel, Mukesh. You can have a look. Um, yes, Shravan, I did my exam on 8th of August. I had my exam on 8th of August. I used the template which I uploaded on the website, and I have got 90 in my exam. So let me show you. So this was my score. I had my exam on the 8th of August 2025, and as you can see, I've tried everything before I actually uh, comment on anything. I always actually apply everything in the real exam before I make a video on that. So I don't make any video, any strategy video before I apply it in the real exam. So any strategy that I say, I first try it in the real exam, and if I get a full score, only then I make a video on that. So yes, you can have a look. I'm going to give another exam very soon. So if any changes, I will make another video and I will update you. Summarize written text, British English talked. I didn't summarize written text or summarize spoken text. Summarize spoken text, Jannat. Yes, the accents will change. Sometimes it will be American English, sometimes it will be British, sometimes it is going to be worse because sometimes they even use Scottish accents and they're bad. Okay, but that's why try to listen to different audios. We have audios in different accents, so you get used to it. You can listen to different podcasts for different countries like Scotland, Ireland, and England and stuff like that, and then you get used to their accents, and then it'll be easier for you to understand these audios. Okay, apply the same template for summarized written text. Yeah, but pick good content related sentences. Yes, Shravan, you can. I got results. My result 2 days ago. Listening 88, reading 74. Oh, perfect! Congratulations. That's a good score. So you got the top score now. You don't have to worry. Should I apply the same template for summarize? Yes, you can. Why Alpha does not give marks in retail lecture content? What is it saying? If you're submitting, it will give you a what do you say, feedback. So have a look at the feedback, and then you will know why you're not getting the score. Yes, you can, Shravan. Omar, my desired score is proficient if I'm getting 5 7 points in alpha and AP. Should I go for the actual exam? If you are getting, yeah, I think you should be fine, but at the end of the day, it's your performance on the day of your exam that makes all the difference. So if you are confident enough, go for it. Yes, you can, Arun. अल्फा पीटी पर मॉक टेस्ट कैसे दिया जाता है? लक्ष्मी, you can go on alpha pt's website. Let me show you. Just give me 1 minute. So when you go on alpha pt's website, you go for mock test, and then you should have, like, it's always better to have these kind of headphones. These are the headphones that you have in your exam, Andrea. So with extendable microphone, and then you give your mock test. So just make sure you have your ID. Let me log in and show you. So when you're on the website, go for mock test and then start. Okay. Writing template problem. Explore Japan with Siam. Which template are you talking about? Summarize spoken text or essay? I have to take PT exam, so what score should my house score be? Like Dente. Whatever is your desired score, you should at least get those many marks in your mock test. Your voice is a little bit low. Narendra, can you hear me now? I hope it's clear now. If you exceed the essay word count, does it affect the score? Yes, you'll get negative marks for exceeding the word count. What is the minimum word? 200, but always preferable to write 250. From starting, Shenaz, make sure you first know the strategy for each and every question. Then start solving each and every question on the website. Like, see, if this is the website, so first you need to first know the strategy for all these questions, each and every question. Okay. Then, as first find out the strategy for read aloud, then practice read aloud. Second day, know what is describe image, practice describe image. So in 1 week, finish all the speaking questions. Or maybe if you have a lot of time, then finish speaking questions in 1 day, writing in 1 day, reading in 1 day, and listening in 1 day. And then keep solving them until and unless you get confidence, until and unless you get good score in each and every question. Then start taking sectional mock tests one after another. And when you're comfortable with sectional mock test, take a full mock test. So I would say every day take a sectional mock test, and on a weekend take a full mock test. You can put your exam countdown and your desired score, and you will have your task here, like study plan, and then you can follow the study plan also. If you already have a score, you can put your score here and get a score feedback, like your real exam. Check it's a real exam score or a mock test score. So say for example, it's my real exam score. I've given my exam here. Overall I got 80, listening I got 75, 74, reading I got 69, speaking I got 90, and maybe writing I got 75. And I will submit here. This will give you the feedback. Now, because my feedback is for proficient, why is it giving me this? Because this is my target score. If I change my target score to superior, then I will have a different feedback. So you can always check your score feedback like this, guys. It will always give you a correct feedback. So okay, now moving on. I take Alpha PT test. My score is 55 plus. How much I score? Somewhere similar. 5 marks up and down, guys. Where to get the template essay? All the templates are there on alphapte.com. Like you go to practice and you put templates here. All the templates are here. Then need some ideas on retail lecture and describe image, please. So retail lecture and describe image is all about content. Retail lecture, you need to put a lot of notes, so make sure you're good with your note taking. The more notes you take, the easier it is for you to repeat. Describe image is just getting comfortable with what is in front of you and being able to repeat that. Okay, so say for example, let me do one describe image and show you. This is just to give you an idea. Okay, so this is the describe image. Let me just start for them. So I before the recording start, just find out, okay, this is the year 2010, this is the year 2012, and these are the colors, like blue for nursing, red for engineering, then social studies, psychology, carpentry, and sports science. So just find out the highest one. Okay, the picture was all about let me just say, okay, let me restart and start again. So make sure you have always, you keep looking at the recording, and once the recording start, or once there is 5 seconds remaining to the record, for the recording to start, just keep looking at the screen so that you don't miss the recording or you don't miss the starting. Okay, let me start now. I can see two pie charts. It's a comparison between 2010 and 2012. There are pie charts which are describing nursing, engineering, social studies, psychology, carpentry, sports science. In 2010, the highest is nursing, I think, but the highest is also social studies. Maybe orange color is psychology, then carpentry is purple color, and engineering is maroon color, and sports science is green color. In 2012, I think the highest is again sports science, and then the lowest is 5%, which is carpentry. So they are comparing between 2010 and 2012 about nursing, engineering, social studies, psychology, carpentry, sports science. Thank you. Even if you say that, you will be fine. There is no issue. That's it. All you have to do is just be confident in how you're describing the picture. There are no marks for grammar, guys. So even if you make grammatically incorrect sentences, there is absolutely no problem at all. Just put content and speak fluently. And confidence is all you need. Some idea on retail lecture. Okay. Template for alpha pt, yes you can we apply the template you posted? Yes you can. 19 speaking perfect, congratulations. Is there any class for alpha pt? Unfortunately no, we don't take class. Sometimes we do these live sessions and we post videos on YouTube, but we don't have any class. We don't train students. Reading is my weakness. Any suggestions? If you're losing marks in reading, practice your summarized written text content. You both the reading fill in the blanks and your reading reorder paragraphs. That's it. These four questions have good marks in reading. If you're getting 65 and 68 in reading, target score is 65. It's not bad. You should be fine. But try to get about 70 above. But this is also good enough. Sorry. If you have to, just let me arrange my mic properly. I hope the audio is clear now. If I have to aim for superior English, make sure you don't make mistakes in these questions: your repeat sentences, your retail lecture, summarize group discussion, and describe image. These four questions in speaking, very high scoring. Both the writing questions, essay and summarized written text, good amount of content. In reading, drop down, drag and drop, reorder paragraph. Three questions, very important. In listening, summarize spoken text, listening, fill in the blanks, highlight incorrect words, and write from dictation. Most important. Apart from that, other questions, they are okay. They are not high scoring, but these questions are very high scoring. So you can't make any mistakes in these questions if you are aiming for superior. Okay. Then how much accurate in alpha pt mock test? It's very accurate. So if you can get 5% up down, if you're whatever score you're getting in alpha in the real exam. No, if you have 68, you can't expect 79. Just 5 marks up down is what you can expect. But I always say get a similar score in the mock test, whatever you are expecting in the real exam. Even if it is difficult, your real exam will become easier. So it's always good to practice on a difficult platform. How much do I need in each section to get 7 bands? So are you 7 bands is are you talking about the scoring? So if you are looking for 7 bands, you need to have proficient score, I think. So for speaking, you need somewhere around 76, writing 69, and reading 59, and listening 58. And if you're looking for superior English, like 8 bands, then speaking 88, writing 85, reading 70, and listening 69. So yeah, that's what you need. Moving on, then can we apply the template that you've posted? Oh yes, you can. Mm. Strategy for summarized group discussion. I've already posted a video, Saira, which is discussing the strategy for summarized group discussion in detail. So please have a look at it and it will be easier for you to follow. Can you tell about highlight correct summary in PT? Highlight correct summary is very low scoring question. It's not a high scoring question. Basically, you listen to the audio and there are four options. You have to click on the option that best matches as the summary of the audio that you heard. Why reading score is very low after change? Because previously reading marks used to come from read aloud. Now they have cancelled that completely. Maximum 80% reading marks are going to come from sorry, 75% marks are going to come from your reading module itself, and the rest will come from your summarized written text and a little bit from your listening. Not too much, very little from your listening. So that is why reading marks have reduced, because you're not getting any marks from your read aloud. Then what is the role of human marking? Does it impact on score positively or negatively? Now human marking is negative if you are using fixed structures where you're not putting content. If you're not putting good content, then it is going to affect you. But if you're putting good amount of content, and this human marking is only in describe image, retell lecture, summarize group discussion, summarize written text, summarize spoken text, essay. So in these questions, if you are putting fixed structures and if you're not using good amount of content, then you may lose marks. Okay, it's just an added check to make sure you're not using pre-prepared templates. How to make more score in listening? By putting good content in repeat sentences, retell lecture, summarize group discussion, summarize spoken text, and write from dictation. 5 questions. The mock test AI results are quite inaccurate. It is not able to sometimes get the words I speak. Maybe try to use a headset with an extendable microphone, because any AI, any computer which is not having a good hardware, no matter how good the software is, it will not work even in your exam. So that is why I say, when you are taking your actual PTE exam, check, 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 and recheck, because a lot of my students have lost marks because of not having a good headset. If the headset doesn't work properly, it will not pick your words, it will not record your audios, and you will not get marks. So make sure your headset has extendable microphone to be able to pick your words clearly. Then I need 50. Do I need to write and speak American or Australian grammar and accent? There is no Australian grammar and accent. You don't need any accent, basically, as long as you're clear and you're speaking words clearly. Accent does not matter. Even people from different accents who are not non-native English speakers could get 90 by being clear. And sometimes having a very thick accent can be a negative, can have a negative impact on your score, because it's a computer which has to pick what you're saying. So in fact, it is always better to speak plain clear English without a thick accent. Speaking module will only improve with practice, Imran. So the more you practice, the better your speaking gets. I just bought subscription for 60. Okay. Got 79 in writing, didn't use any template. Do you think if I use a template can score? See, Sharmin, templates at the moment are only to make sure that you're putting compound sentences, you're putting high vocab words. Templates on their own will not get you marks. Templates will just be like a structure, just improve your structure to be able to put content. So if you can use compound sentences, like not only but also, when you did A, B happened, by doing something, something is happening. So when you use structures like this, you can get a good superior score in your writing. But you, if you want, you can use a template, but at the, even if you're using a template, always remember to put good content which is related to the topic. Your template is only to have a good structure, only to give a structure to your essay. It doesn't give you score. It, your score comes on the basis of your content and how well you are using your compound sentences and your high vocab words. Retell lecture, if you're not doing well, maybe you need to take better notes. Note taking will help you improve your retell lecture. Alpha PTSA template is still working. Yes. Original gets. Sorry, Ahmad, I didn't understand your question. Want to improve speaking? Practice. If you want to improve speaking, speaking will only improve if you practice like constantly. Speaking is something that needs good amount of consistent practice. I just worked on speaking. Was there any changes on speaking overall? Speaking overall, that means if you're asking about changes after 7th of August, speaking has two new questions: summarize group discussion and respond to situation. And the score of read aloud does not go to reading anymore. So these are the major changes in speaking. Ehsan, your desired score is 60 and you're not doing well in speaking. That means you need good content in your retail lecture, in your summarized group discussion, and you need to be fluent and you need to be clear. So don't stress if you have your exam coming. Don't stress. Stress is only going to make it worse. Just calm down and keep practicing your reading. If you have practiced in 6 days, like I said, you can't see the improvement like this. It will take time. I said after a week you can slowly and gradually see the improvement. A human mind is a very complex thing. It does not improve overnight. It needs efforts. Put in efforts, you will get there. Don't stress, you'll be fine. The new format is harder than the previous one to get 65. I think it's becoming easier. Previously you need 65 in each, but you don't need that anymore. I think 65 got easier, especially for uh, reading you need only 59, and listening you need only 58. So reading and listening, it actually got easier. Only thing that is a little tricky is your speaking and writing, but as long as you're fluent and in writing, as long as you're putting content, you should be fine. It's not going to be difficult for you. Don't worry about that. How to take sectional mock test? Just on the website, if you click on mock test, let me show you. If you click on mock test and you put sectional mock test and then you start, if speaking, writing, reading, listening, select whichever mock test you want and start. Okay, then my problem is listening. Please help out. Listening बहुत जल्दी बोल दिया जाता है, note नहीं कर पा. If you're having issues with note taking, you can only practice note taking and improve. That's the only way. Yes, speaking is and listening. That see, listening is not consistent. Sometimes the audios are slow, sometimes they are fast. So you have to first start with the regular audios, and when you're comfortable with that, increase the speed to 1.2 and then practice. Only when you get used to the speed, then it will be fine in your exam. So the only thing that you can do is to get used to it. And note taking is the key in PTE exam. Note taking makes all the difference. The better note taking, the more score you have, not just in speaking but also in listening and writing. So note taking is very important. Please work on it. Thanks, Alpha. I got 84 in speaking. Congratulations, Prasanna. Thank you so much for your feedback. Then moving on. Essay, general linguistic range, how to get 6 out of 6. Which words are used? Don't worry about that. To get a good score in the essay, you need to use just a lot, not a lot, just a few important words like in conclusion, nevertheless, or in a nutshell, thus, these words, and then use a bit of structures here and there. Don't use too high five words that you can't understand, but at least good academic words that you can use. Maybe in the introduction, put that this topic, instead of many, you can put I have a myriad of opinions regarding this topic. Instead of I have many opinions, put like these words, a myriad of opinions. Simple words. Instead of making a huge change, you can say I have a colossal change, or a huge impact, a significant impact. Simple changes will get you good score. You don't need too many words. Maybe 5 or 10 good high vocab words will be good enough. Listen for 5 seconds, write for 5 seconds in retail, and summarize group discussion. Is it a good approach? Listen and write while you're listening. Don't listen and stop and write. Listen and get used to writing while you're listening. Don't stop and write. Okay? For both. Can this essay template apply any essay? No, not for problem solution. Is this PT test difficult? No, it's similar. Repeat the most questions with high score in all question types. Most questions in high with high score. Okay, in speaking, describe image, repeat sentences, summarize group discussion. High scoring, three very high scoring. Retell lecture and read aloud, medium. But most important, repeat sentences, describe image, and summarize group discussion. Okay. Then comes your writing, both the questions, essay and summarized written text, important. Then comes your reading module, drag and drop down, two high scoring questions and then reorder medium scoring question. Then coming your listening, summarize spoken text and write from dictation, high scoring questions, listening fill in the blanks and highlighting correct words, medium scoring question. Rest, low scoring questions. Okay. Don't use pre-made templates, Anjit. Okay, sorry. Yeah, if you're using templates, there's no problem as long as you're putting good amount of content in templates. Templates are fine, but you should have content with the templates. In summarized written text and YouTube channel was on my way. I hope the template doesn't get affected now. Which template? I'm sorry, I didn't understand, Mukesh. Can you please explain? How to improve my content with reading fill in the blanks purpose. You don't need content in reading fill in the blanks. You need to answer the fill in the blanks correctly on the basis of grammar and your contextual knowledge. You should be able to understand what the passage is saying. Reading module, Usman, like I said, it's all about your summarized written text, drop down, and drag and drop blanks. These three questions are the game changers in reading. Not getting marks in Pearson official PT mock test. Maybe you are not using a good headset. If you are fluent with good pronunciation, then there's no reason why you're not getting marks. Maybe the content is not enough. Short sentences mock test evaluation asked me to use more complex sentence. Be more precise and neutral. In which question, Usman, you are having this issue? How to improve note taking, ma'am? By taking notes regularly, like at least listen to 5 to 6 audios and write down what the speaker is saying in that audio. I'm taking test in alpha PT 55 plus. How many score in PT exam? 5 marks plus and minus. Changes in scoring, a new format. In new format scoring, yes, a little bit. They added two new questions in speaking, and you don't have any marks in reading from read aloud, and then you don't have any marks in from listening fill in the blanks in writing. But apart from that, not much. It's, yeah, reading blanks will only improve with regular practice, guys. The more you practice, the better they get. mm, any tips for repeat sentences? Practice them in bulk for what, like 50 to 100 repeat sentences at a time, and then it starts to improve. Pronunciation, by being clear, by speaking clearly. Okay, make sure you are not eating or not mumbling. Make sure whatever you are saying is clear enough for the computer to pick. See, basically, see, when you're practicing even on your phone, maybe when open your chat or your messenger and press on that audio button and speak, see if it picks whatever you say clearly. If it doesn't, that means you're not very clear with the pronunciation with your words. So be clear with your words. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish in 5 minutes. So sorry about that. Let me quickly skim through it. I'm not going to answer the question that I've already answered. My typing speed is not good in essay. How can I improve? By typing. The more you type, the better your speed gets. So every day, type 3 to 4 essays and it will improve in a week. Don't worry. Write just the main points from retail lecture. No, no, you don't need to write just the main points. Write whatever you can hear. The more content, the better score. I have desired score 90, but I suffered a lot in reading section and speaking. How can I improve these sections? Specifically reading. Specifically reading, put good content in summarized written text, and don't make mistakes in drop down and drag and drop. Oh, for PT core, you get marks from read aloud also. So make sure your read aloud is clear. You get marks from read aloud in PT core. So make sure your read alouds are good. How to improve essay writing, how to generate or get ideas. You can click on the topic and you can check the community score if you don't have any idea and if you're having doubts. Okay, so let me share. So you have a question, you have doubts, go to the community score, see, look which essay has a lot of marks, read that particular essay, see how they have written that essay, see what ideas they have written, and then you'll learn. Okay, learn from others questions and others ideas. Then scoring configuration, what is important to tell me in 4 modules? Like I just mentioned, guys, in all the 4 modules, this 90 is in SGD. Can I speak like first speaker? Yes, 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 you can speak like that, Yogesh. Speaker number 1 said this, then speaker number 2 said this, then speaker number 3 said this. That's it. And overall, you can start. Overall, the audio, the topic of the audio was this. There were 3 speakers, they were discussing about this. Speaker number 1, then speaker number 2, then speaker number 3. Overall, they were talking about this particular topic. That's it. Then continuation of last question, short sentences, long sentence, facing the issue in writing module. If I when I write long one, is it in essay? If you're having essay issues with essay, uh, don't write too long of a sentence. Maybe 10 to 15 words maximum. I'm gonna finish the live session now, Ahmad. How can I improve fluency pronunciation? By practicing, guys. How to cross the threshold of 90 by putting good content in your uh, repeat sentences, your describe image, and your summarize group discussion. Alpha, you're getting problem. Which problem music? I can't understand. Can you explain? Summarize written text में हम paste करें. You can't paste in your real exam. You have to look and type. Mock test is how many correct in the real exam. Score is very much related to the real exam. You can expect 5 marks plus and minus. Can I buy PTE voucher from Alpha PT? Yes, you can. Your prediction files, you can have these prediction files. There is no, on the website, the prediction questions, actually the prediction questions, when you go to each question you can find the prediction questions. Okay, say for example, if I go to read aloud and I click prediction, these are the prediction questions. Okay, there's no file, you can see the questions. Okay, then moving on. How long should the essay be? Around 250 words. 220 to 250 words should be good enough. You can put around 280, depends on how much content you have related to the topic. Superior level is reachable now, should go for it. Is very much reachable, Mohammed. Don't worry. Superior level is very much reachable. Just work on your content. Okay, all good, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks a lot. I'm going to finish the session now. Binu, yes, it is working, but you need to put good sentences which are related to the topic. Joy, you can only expect one essay in the exam. Ehsan, real test difficulty, yes, it is pretty much similar to the mock test. One line strategy, no, I don't recommend using one line strategy. And all 4 modules, right from dictation, try to add no more than 4, don't add more than 4 to 5 extra words in right from dictation, but make sure the words are related to the topic, and try to keep the right from dictation as close to the real sentence as possible. All 4 modules, guys, very quickly before I finish, in my Exam, how many repeat sentences? I had 7 read alouds and 10 repeat sentences. African accent problem still exists, was resolved. A little bit of the problem with the thick accent is still there. If you're not clear, it doesn't pick. But if you are, just make sure on your work, make sure on working on your pronunciation. The clear you pronounce, the better it is. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Okay, just the last thing, most important questions in all 4 modules. In speaking module, most important questions: repeat sentence, describe image, summarize group discussion, high score, retell lecture and respond to situation, medium score. So these 5 questions. In writing, both essay and summarize written text, very important. In reading, drop down and drag and drop, 2 high scoring questions and reorder paragraph, medium. In listening, summarize spoken text and write from dictation, high scoring questions, and highlight incorrect words and listening, fill in the blanks, medium. So that's about today's section, guys. Today's session. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so sorry I will not be able to answer any more questions. I will be taking many more sessions like this. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you soon in the next video. If you have any more doubts and queries, please come join our Telegram group, and we will be able to help you there. Our trainers are always available on Telegram to help you and to answer your queries. Thank you once again, and bye bye.